Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe because you'll help us grow massively and just get on this journey with us. So we've got the Newcastle preview today. And then after this episode, the next one to come out will be our very first fan cams. It's going to be a little bit different to what they're normally going to be like. Me and Ryan are fortunate to be in Luke Roper's box for this game. So they are going to be coming from Roper's box. And there's obviously, we know someone else who's in there as well. So they're going to be jumping on board as well. So it should make for a very good opening fan camp from us then. So like I say, Newcastle, let's draw a line under Watford. I feel like we need to just get that out of our system. We've had a pre-season friendly against Liverpool. We lost 4-1. Looks like Troy Alray is injured as well, which is slightly annoying, but looks like some of the squad got some valuable minutes as well. Hopefully they've been on the training pitch this week, working very hard, getting their fitness and getting match sharp, basically, Premier League ready, because Saturday wasn't good enough, and I think everybody knows that. So hopefully we can bring it against Newcastle. Our record against Newcastle recently is very good. Especially at home, we've played them. We've completely dominated every game we've played with them recently at home. So hopefully that can continue. Just a little question marks on the squad and who we're going to pick. So we've got a lot of thoughts, a lot of questions from the people that listen to this podcast. So we'll go straight into them as well. So Ryan, how are you feeling about it anyway? The game?
Yes, mate. Cannot wait to get that down Villa Park. Full house. I think it's sold out now, hasn't it? So that is going to be vibrant. It's going to be buzzing. The build-up to kick-off is going to be electric. I'm getting like Everton vibes. I think all four stands are going to be singing. So, cannot wait. But no easy game in the Premier League, and Newcastle will be a tough game. They started well against West Ham. Very lively in attack. Said Maximum, we know what he's all about. Pace, power, he's direct. And we faced a similar opponent in Sarr against Watford. So we've got some improvement to make there. But once West Ham regrouped and pulled on the pressure, Newcastle looked shaky at the back. They looked shaky in midfield. So with our attack, hopefully we can get it going, get at them. And yeah, like you say, we've got a good home record against them. 2013 was the last time we lost at home to Newcastle. So we've definitely got one up on them. Maybe Villa Park is there, dodgy ground. We seem to have an awful lot of dodgy away games that we go to and grounds that we don't get on well with. And hopefully Villa Park is Newcastle's. Hopeful of the 3 points.
Buzzing. So I'm delighted we've got Josh on. Any of you that don't know Josh, he was the undercover reporter when Villa went to that hotel at the training camp. His footage and his coverage was top class, to be fair. So I'm delighted to have you on. How are you feeling about Newcastle, mate?
Yeah, similar to Ryan, really. I thought first 10 minutes, we playing Leeds United almost. The way that Newcastle pressing, intensity, the ball runners. And they sort of, as I said, sort of fell into the trap of West Ham. And once West Ham, as Ryan said, dominated the ball, it was one-way traffic. And do I fear Newcastle in terms of, through 90 minutes? No. But what I do fear from Newcastle is a 10-minute spell where if they hit us with an early goal in that first 10 minutes, it silences the crowd, which is obviously what we want. We want the opposite. We want Villa to get that early goal and really go with the momentum of the crowd. But if they do like they did against West Ham, they come out, they score first early, dangerous. But that's how I fear Newcastle. Manage those 10-minute waves where St. Maximan gets a bit of a freedom, where Almiron, where Jacob Murphy pushes on, ride them waves, and I think we'll be absolutely fine. And I'll back our boys completely.
Yeah, I think knowing Brucey, he's going to want to come and weather the storm. Do you know what I mean? He'll want to keep it tight for 20 minutes. And I think that's where Villa are going to be quite dangerous at the start of this game. We saw in the open weekend that most home teams won, that they're having the crowds back. Villa Park is going to be a cauldron of noise for the whole game, and it's going to be very, very intimidating. Having fans back at Villa Park, knowing how passionate the fans are, we all can't wait to be back. So I do see us being on top early in this game, and I just think if we can get an early goal, I think it changes the game. Because like you're saying, I feel like Newcastle are going to come to counter. They've got Saint Maxim, who is a fantastic player. I think his quality, I do, is absolutely electric. And I think if we can obviously keep him quiet, I feel like we can get a result. And I think this question now comes on to what team Aston Villa play to counter Saint Maxim. We had an absolute shocker against Sarr. Again, it's a similar type of player. What do we do? And I think I felt a bit sorry for Targett in a way, because I think when you've got those type of pacey fullbacks, if your winger isn't helping, if he's not helping that fullback, he's in no man's land. And I just hope that we've learnt our lesson, and I feel like we have, because we can't do the same mistake twice, can we? 2 games in a row. We're a Premier League club, and I don't feel like we should be making those mistakes week in, week out. Justin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest matchup on Saturday, isn't it? Especially after what happened last week. I think Matt Targett, rightly, was taken off at half-time because he had a torrid afternoon. And I think if you keep him on for the second half, Sarr just eyes light up, don't they? So I think it was probably a good tactical move, really, to switch Young back there, because he has got the pace. And he did deal with him pretty well in the second half. And then I think Targett would have just got home from match of the day, sat down and just relaxed, and then turned on the telly to watch Saint Maxim on absolutely destroying their left back. So I don't know. It's a toss of the coin, isn't it? Because I think Smith will stick with Targett. I know people are calling for Young to play, but I think he's got to stick with his main man, and I think we've got to back Targett to put that one behind him and have a really good, solid game. It'll be a totally different game. We're at home, first game back, 42,000 sat out. And I agree with all you lot, really. I think we'll come out all guns blazing and we'll just attack them. Brucey, as we know to our pain, likes to go away from home and not concede. And hopefully that'll be his tactic on Saturday, just to sit back, 2 banks of whatever he decides to put in. And I think he's playing St. Maxim off Wilson, isn't he, up top? So they are the big threat, aren't they, them two? We've just got to limit the amount of ball that they receive. And the best way of doing that is attacking, isn't it? And we've got plenty of good attackers to pick from now. So we've just got to be positive. Like you say, put that game last week behind us. We've got 2 home games coming up in a row and a decent-looking cup game in the middle of it, sandwiched in between. So realistically, we could get some good results over the next week. And that opening day shocker that we're all still reeling from could be a distant memory by a week on Saturday, and that's what I hope and I think it will happen, to be honest. Yeah,
so what we'll do now is, viewers, drop in your midfield lineups then. So who do you think is going to start in midfield for Villa, and striker wise? I think for me, I feel like defence is just, I agree with you. I'm going Targett, Mings, Konsa, and Cash. That's going to be my. So let's go around then, and then we'll go for our midfield. So I would go Nakamba sitting, Dougie and McGinn, Bailey on the left, Wendy on the right. And if Watkins is fit, Watkins starts for me. He starts up front. Josh, what would you go with?
Thing is, I hope him toss and turning today about 3-5-2. I don't know why I'm feeling that. Well, I do know I'm feeling it. It's because that's what Newcastle essentially play. And I've always been like, let's not match up against opposition. Let's just worry about ourselves. But I've just got this really weird thing in my head that he might do that. And I want to see Ings and Watkins together up top. So there is part of me. But if I was to do 3-5-2, it would obviously be Axel, Mings and Konsa. And I'd shove Targett as a wing back with Cash. And I think those two could really nullify Ritchie and Murphy. And then it's this midfield combination that hurts my head a little bit, because obviously you've got Leon Bailey, who we brought in, who came on, was electric. But I'm going to go similar to you. I think I'm going to go Nakamba, McGinn, and then I think Buendia is going to be that one with Ings and Watkins at the top.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not Smith, is it? It's not Smith to do this. And that 2 up top, I'm just not sure on it yet. I'm just really not sure. Justin?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we stick to the back 4 and back 5 really, that picks itself. Cash, Conson, Mings, Targett, Martinez. I think I'm going in the midfield, And this is a bit of a shout because I don't know how fit he is, but he's only had a week or so off and he's played all the way through. I'm going to just stick Dougie Luiz straight back in because I think it's important that, I'm not an anti-Nakamba person at all. I like Nakamba. I think he's very busy. His biggest downfall is his distribution of the ball, which Douglas Luiz has got in spades, and he's fantastic distributor of the ball. And if we can get Douglas Luiz post-lockdown last year, then he plays every week, doesn't he? It's simple as that. So get him back up. I would then... The other problem is how fit is Sanson, because I think Villa seem to be putting a lot of stock in him becoming, one of the mainstays of our midfield, but I'm not quite sure he's ready yet. But obviously we'll find out Friday with the pre-match press conference who's available or not. So as it stands today, I would go, if I was picking it today, I'd go Luiz in sort of the holding, and I'd put McGinn and Ramsey in front of them, because I think Aaron Ramsey did very, very, very well when he came on. I know we was 2-0 down, but by dropping him in that midfield, it did really help solidify that midfield where we lost the battle a lot. And with them, like Josh says, going 3-5-2, they are quite strong in the middle of the park. And I think, we've got to not match them up, but we've got to be stronger in that position, which leaves 3 up front. For me, Bailey starts regardless. Buendia starts on the right, and then it's the biggest conundrum I think we're going to have this season. 1 up front, who starts? If you're going off last season, it's Watkins all day long. But how do you drop your star striker you've just signed, has just scored on his debut? It's going to be a very, very tough season. Dean Smith picking between them two. I'm with Luke. At the moment, I don't see a 2 up top, because I think that's the way Smith has done it for so long. I don't see him chucking everything away. I think the option's there for the 3 at the back, and I think that's exactly why Tuanzebe was brought in, for that option. Whether he reverts to that after one game, it could be seen as a bit of a panic move because of the result we had last week. But then, if we win... There's so many... We said it after the pod. We said it on the review pod of the Watford game. There is more questions than answers at the moment with Villa. So we've just got to trust that Smith sees them on the training ground, sees what they're doing. I'm going to stick with the formation, and that's what I would go with.
Cool. Ryan?
Yeah, I've got a totally different opinion. We've all got different opinions. Completely different. I agree. I agree with Josh. We could match them up with the back 3. That was going through my head today. We've got pretty much 2 players in every position. We've got flexibility in the squad now where we can change formation and mix it up a bit. But I think we'll still go with our back 5. I'd still stick Matty Target in. He's got something to prove. I thought Asher Young did a tremendous job when he went there, but Sarr was blowing a bit, so he managed him well. But for me, if Watkins is fit, he starts up front, but I'm going to go with Danny Ings as a sort of false number 9, number 10, because I think that's the position he wants to play. I think he is more of that link-up type of striker. So I'm going to go a bit more attacking for this one because it's Newcastle. I feel like we can get at them. I feel like we can push their wing-backs back. So I'm going to go with Buendia in his favoured position on the right, Bailey on the left, throwing Douglas Luiz and McGinn back into the mix, them 2 in the middle, Ings in the sort of role that Bartley played, where he pushed right up top on the press and then sort of sat back down in the 10 when we was defending. I'm going to go Ings there and Watkins up top. But like Justin said, Sanson, I feel like he's going to have a big role to play in this team and this squad this season. He's a massive presser. He's a high presser. He's got lungs and he can just keep running and running. And I think if we are going to go down the role of 2 midfielders, then him and McGinn can provide so much energy up and down, box to box. So yeah, so many questions, and we get the answers at 2:00 on Saturday, don't we?
I think Dougie goes straight. He's got that match sharpness, match fitness. He's going straight back in. And like you guys say, it'd be nice to see where Sanson is fitness wise. It's just a shame he's probably not gone in straight away with pre-season, and he's chomping at the bit now. He's probably going to be starting on the bench and stuff. So hopefully he can get there pretty quick. So let's go to the thoughts and questions then of what the viewers and listeners have put in. So Villa in the know, maybe he's not. Let's put, how can we get what Ings playing without being open in midfield? And that's the thing, isn't it? How do you get them 2 playing with not being open in the midfield. And I think at the minute, I'm not sure we can. That's how I feel.
I actually like Ryan's team. That was the other way I was going to go. For me, it sounds daft now. Ramsey or Ings. I know they're totally different players, but you either play an extra midfielder and go for more solidity, or you do chuck Danny Ings off Watkins or Watkins off Ings, whichever way you want to do it. And I think at home, if you're going to do it, that's the place to do it against one of the lesser teams. I know every game's a hard game, but if you go, you wouldn't play against a City or a Chelsea or an Arsenal because you're just leaving two in the midfield to get totally overrun. But possibly the way to go is to play on Saturday. Yeah, so
that's it.
If they're going to play it,
if you're playing a stronger team, then Ings or Watkins comes out, don't they? And
you need a midfielder.
Put the Canberra in, and the Canberra sits in a deep role, or Louise will sit there and Samson comes in, and you play that free. So that's what I mean. We've got the potential to mix it up, haven't we? So we'll see. We'll see how it evolves.
Right, I'll give you this one then, Josh. So Danny Evans have we put too much pressure on ourselves for this season and ultimately setting ourselves up to fail?
Well, good question. You've got to aim high in life, haven't you? You've got to aim high in life. You've got to set the bar right up here in anything you do. And as a fan base, to be ambitious, I don't think that's a problem. I think, if we don't reach the expectations and we're not too far off where we put ourselves, you can't be critical. It'd be different that a lot of us have, tipped ourselves to finish higher than we did last season, 11th. We're floating around 16th, 17th. Then, you could start asking questions. But no, I think, why not be positive as a fan base? And I think that will show through the atmosphere. That will show through the atmosphere that we're going to generate. And that can only help the players. Look at the Newcastle fans. And I know I don't want to insult Newcastle too much, but most of that fan base is quite negative at the moment. They turn up, there's people boycotting home games. They're sat there, they're disgruntled. And I think that filters through onto the pitch. And they've set low expectations. And I feel like when you set low expectations, you drift towards them. So aim high.
And I feel like we get the journey, we get the project that we're on, aren't we? Our owners are pumping in serious money and have huge expectations. Now, we're feeding off that as well. The club's expectation this season is not to finish mid-table. It's to finish virtually near 6th place, basically, in the European positions. Like Dino said it, the player, Martinez has said it. So the expectation is coming from the club. And that's, it's not coming from the fans. So we're just feeding off what the club are doing, basically. So I'm with you. I'm very positive. I want Villa to be aiming. I want us to be aiming to win the league every season. So if I'm hearing our expectations to finish 14th, 12th, mid-table, then that for me it doesn't sit right with me. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you've got to set, I think it's one thing being positive and setting a high goal, but you've also got to temper that with the realistic nature of what's happened to us over the summer and where we are as a team. We've added some really good players, but they have got to gel and bed in, and we've got to get used to a whole new way of playing without. I'm not going to mention him, the player that gelled it all together last year. He was an integral figure in the way we played, and everything went through him. So we have got to make sure we can adjust to a new way of playing, and we will adjust to a new way of playing. I just hope we can do it quick enough to allow us to have that good season that we all really hope and crave for.
I didn't think Barkley was that good, to be honest, Justin.
yeah, he was great. Yeah, no, that and that's it, isn't it? We all want to finish as high as possibly can, but we all have to be realistic, and hope that we can ride out the little, like last Saturday. Look at last Saturday as your prime example. Straight away, absolute meltdown. We've lost. We got hammered. First half was dreadful, and it's a shame that happened because we were all just praying to get off to a good start. But I'm really still very hopeful we're going to have a really good season, and hopefully we can finish just a bit higher than we did last year, which I think is progression, and that's all we can ask for at the moment.
Problem is, patience doesn't exist, does it?
Doesn't in fan bases, yeah.
No, everyone wants instant success as a fan base, and it's so hard to just be like, relax. It's all going to. Yeah. I'm so confident it'll fall into place, but everyone wants it now. We just have to settle, don't we?
Yeah,
Sorry.
so Interpol has put similar line really. I like that the club state their ambition and spend money on good players, but for many years the players have not responded well to expectation, and I worry that all this talk of Europe has made them believe the hype already. Success starts with hard work. So we've kind of already answered this one. Cozy Lloris has put, is the midfield good enough for what we want to do this season? Sort of covered that a little bit. I feel like we need players to get fit, like Sanson, to see where this midfield really is. We've seen bits of Ramsey, but we've not seen enough to sort of see where his career's going with Aston Villa, really. Rambo has put sign Jesse Lingard. To be fair, I called that last January. Everyone knows that I did a little transfer with a thumbnail of Jesse Lingard, and we got a bit of stick at the time saying like, "Oh, we don't want him," but look what happened. But I think he's out of reach for us. I don't feel like we're in for him. Mighty Villain has put, are we in for another season where Villa scoring the open goal is going to be crucial in getting results? How will a packed Villa Park affect things if we do go a goal down? A bit of a
team, isn't it? It's every team, isn't it?
Yeah, so I just feel like we just got to bring it on Saturday, haven't we? We've just got to hope the players rise to the occasion which we create, because it's got Everton vibes of the last time we was all back, wasn't it? It could be a magical first game back at Villa Park and set the tone of Villa Park for the season. I think home form is going to be crucial, and I think if we get off to a good start, we could sort of like snowball home form. So Alex has put a formation, and does Dougie come in for Marv? There could be a few goals in this one too. Again, I think we're all sort of thinking that Dougie's going to come straight back in. Bozzy's put, the Watford loss makes this now a real interesting game. Both Watford and Newcastle you'd expect to be in the bottom six come May. Villa need to prove that they are a level or two above that, and then we can put Watford down as a rustiness on the day. And then have we got any more? Go for one more. We've got a lot of faith in Villa. We changed games as soon as Bailey and Ings and Dougie come back, so hopefully we're ready. So yeah, I feel like it's been a bit of a positive one. I think obviously from the Watford result, I think we're all sort of looking forward to it. It's going to be great to have Villa fans back in Villa Park. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a bit of an emotional one, I think, for a lot of people, walking up the whole end steps, sitting in your seat, seeing the players come out. I think it's going to be one that you sort of remember forever, isn't it, really? I think, everybody's been through a tough time, and I think we're all
setting me off, Luke. You're setting me off, mate. I'm going to get some tissues in a minute.
We're all sort of getting back to our happy place, your routine of going back on a match day with the people that you love spending time with, people that you've not seen for a while. So I feel like it's just going to be a real good occasion for everybody, and I hope that Villa deliver and we get our first points, and it's a real good game for everybody. So the ones that are going, enjoy it, be loud, and thanks for watching, and thanks everyone for coming on. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.